lovelies. My name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup Misfit. I know I'm wearing the same sweater again, but I promise you it's a different day. I am going to be doing a makeup collection video, and I'm going to do a few of these over the next couple of days. So today I'm going to focus on just my blushes, and I'm only going to show you guys my single blushes. I will have a video for all of my face palettes, so my blush palettes I'll show you guys in that video. I did want to do a makeup inventory, but I think when I do my face palette video, I'll incorporate an inventory in there for all of my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters, and just kind of tie it all in with the full face palettes. So I will be doing a few other ones, I believe, and then my eyeshadow palettes, which is the one I'm most excited for. I'm going to be posting that on December 26th because I may or may not be getting an eyeshadow palette that I asked for Christmas. So just in case, I do want to include it into the collection video. So without further ado, my single blushes, most, if not like 99% of these are all pressed powders. That's just what I use. It's what I gravitate towards. It's what I like. So why stray from that? But I'm just going to show them to you guys and just kind of let you know my thoughts briefly on them. And there we go. So first and foremost, I'm just picking whatever's up in front of me. And this one right here is by Melt. So this is actually a highlighter. So this is in Pink Moon. But when I purchased this, I purchased it with the intention of using it as a blush because I figured it was going to be too deep and too dark for me to use as a highlighter. Well, I swatched this last night. I got this during the Sephora VIB sale. If you saw my unboxing, you would see this in there. And I swatched it last night, and it's too light to use as a blush. There's no pigment to it, so it's definitely more of just like a shimmery topper. I still don't know if I could get away with this as a highlight, maybe come summertime because I'm a little too pale right now. But I will have to figure out a good way to use this, but I'm still super happy that I have this. I absolutely love the color of it, and it's gorgeous when I swatched it out. So to continue with my Melt products, I have these two right here. These are the Honeybee Digital Dust Highlighters. They're the duos. So this first one here is in Raw Honey. So this is one of the deeper ones. This shade I know is too deep for me, but I am totally okay with blending it out with a lighter shade. I like layering my products, so I find that would be easy to do with this one. And then this is just a very pretty light shimmer shade, which I would probably use more as a highlight than an actual blush topper. And then this one is in Buzzkill, which I've been wanting to get. This was like the original one that I wanted, but it was always out of stock. So I managed to pick this up during their Sephora's last VIB sale. And I really like this one because I love these peachy, corally blush shades. And this is super nice as well to mix in with it. So I have not used these yet either. You'll find that I haven't used a few of these blushes, but I am super excited to have these. And I feel like at least this Buzzkill shade would be more spring, summertime for me. So I'm really looking forward to dipping into those in the new year. So my last Melt blush is a blush light called Electra. So this is a very light violet shade, and I was looking for something like this because I believe it was sometime in the summer when I was just really wanting an all purple look, a very light all purple look, and I wanted to find a nice blush because I didn't have anything. So I found this and I used it a couple of times, but I found it was just a little bit too light for me. So I am looking forward to dipping into this come like springtime. With the whole pastel vibe and everything. This I feel would be super nice. Maybe that's when I bought this, actually. It was probably the VIB sale back in April, now that I think about it, because that would make a little bit more sense than spring or than summer, fall time. So I feel like I would get some better use out of this come the springtime. But because it was too light, I found another purple shade, which is by Clinique, and this is the Cheek Pop. And this one is in Pansy Pop. So it is a lot brighter than what this other Melt one was. It's a little bit more pink on camera than it is in person. It is more purple, I promise. But I think this is very pretty. I only swatched it. I haven't actually put it on. But I'm not sure if you've used these before because I haven't. Let me know how the pigmentation is, and is it something that you need to build up, or do you get a lot of pigmentation all at once? And because I have that one, I actually also purchased this one in Pink Honey Pop. So this is a very pretty neutral shade. It is a little bit more on the pink side, but that's okay. I really do like using these shades to blend out and sheer out other blushes if it's a little bit too dark for me, or if I've put on too much, or just to layer and I just want to put something a little bit lighter on top. I really do enjoy using these neutral shades to do that. So I do have a couple little Nars ones right here. Though, before I drop that, this one, okay, so this one I don't know how to pronounce. I think it's like Golu, but I've never used this. I still have the little Nars plastic thing in here. I haven't used it because it's a little too deep. So I feel just lately, maybe the last few months even, I've been getting into using deeper blushes, just a little bit more. Again, shearing them out if I need to because they're too deep and dark for me. So I think I could get some good use on this one when I do start to eventually use it, but I've just been too scared to touch it. And I think I got this from Sephora. It was either back when you used to get a gift for reaching rouge for the next year, or maybe there was some sort of like New Year's gift. I can't remember exactly, but I believe it was from something like that, and I have not touched it, so that's saying something. And then this Nars one is in Deep Throat. So this is what it looks like. I don't think it's too different from Orgasm. It is a little bit deeper, but I think it's just as pretty. So I have used this one a few times, but not as often. So I do want to start reaching for this one. And hopefully, I don't know if I want to pull this in as a focus blush next year, but it would be nice to get some good use on it anyways. So another little mini that I have is just the trial size from Laura Mercier. I've never tried this one either. I got it as like a promo code in one of my Sephora packages. So this is just in the shade Rose. A very pretty color. I feel like it's something that I would use daily, so I don't have any issues with that one. In this little Makeup Forever palette here, it's a little bit messy, but this is Stylish Me by MAC. So this is, I always thought it might be better as a bronzer for me, but then I actually swatched it last night again, and I find it's a little bit too rosy for that. So I would probably use it more as a blush, but mix it with something else, or just do like a really bronzy look and use that as the blush, but something else as the bronzer, because I don't think I would be able to pull that off as a bronzer on my skin tone. But that's okay, I don't mind. So I do have these ones right here, these little singles. I do have a few more sitting in front of me, but this is Down Boy by The Balm. I got this one at Winners, and I was really hesitant on purchasing it. I remember walking around, and then I put it down, and then went and picked it back up, and well, I have it, so I obviously purchased it. But it's a very pretty pink shade. I do have a few of these, and I'm pretty sure that's probably why I was so hesitant on purchasing it, because I have these pink shades, but I've never tried anything from The Balm. This is actually my very first purchase, so I'm looking forward to actually using this. I do have a few older ones that I want to use up first, and then I'll probably start dipping into this or use this along with those other ones, but I am looking forward to getting some good use out of that one. And then this little baby right here by Colourpop. So this is in Tearing Up My Heart. And I wasn't quite expecting this shade when I purchased it and when I got it in person, but I actually like it because I feel like this is one of those neutral blushes that I could use to blend and sheer out something else. But because it's got that peachy tone to it, I could use it along those blushes, and I'm super happy about that because I feel like I need something like this, because I think this might be the only one on like the peachy side. The rest I think are more like pink. So I'm excited to have a light peach one that I could use to blend products or other blushes out with. So this is by Udenzai, and this is in the shade Water Lily. I ended up purchasing a mystery box from them, which I never do because I'm always so nervous about getting lip products, because I'm just not a lip product kind of girl. But I said I'm gonna try, give it a go, and I'm really happy I did because I was super excited with what I got in my bag. So this blush is too dark for me. Like, this is very deep. And you can't really see it on camera, but there is gold, like, glitter specks in here. But it is super pretty. So I may be able to get away with this if I just lightly dip into it and blend it out a lot, or use something, again, to blend it out with. But I would be looking forward to using something like this. And if I like the quality of it, I would like to purchase one that's a different shade and maybe a little bit lighter. I've heard good things about these though. So next I have another Nars. This is Orgasm, but it's a loose powder, which I never reached for, and I think this came in a little set, so that's why I have this. I have tried it like maybe a handful of times, but loose powder is just something that I try to stay away from unless it's a setting powder. And even though I'm back and forth with pressed or loose. So I really feel like this is going to take me a long time to eventually get to and completely use up. I don't want to get rid of it because I feel like I could probably use it as a blush topper as well. Actually, maybe even see what it would look like with this Pink Moon shade. But I would like to still keep this and give it a go eventually. I just don't know when that's going to be, but I'm kind of hoping sooner than later because I don't want to hold on to it if I'm never going to reach for it. This is by Tarte, and this is a Tarte Reward, so this must have come from Tarte's website. And this is in the shade Quirky. And I've never used this one. The embossment is still perfect, but I really love these blushes, like these Tarte blushes. This is just a mini, but these Tarte blushes are some of my absolute favorites. I've gone through 2 other minis. One of them was Party, which was like Sephora's birthday gift a couple years ago, and I swear that's probably been my absolute favorite. And once I narrow down and cut back on some of my blushes, if I can, I would love to repurchase Party because it was such a pretty, I found on me, neutral shade. Little bit pinky, but I absolutely loved how it looked. So I don't know. I have a couple of these. I think maybe one of these that's a little bit too deep, so I'm going to be giving that one away. So it's not going to be in this video. But this one I want to hold on to because I feel like I could get away with the shade and it would still look good. So I do have one more Tarte. This is a full-size blush, and this one's in Celebrated. Now this one, the embossment is gone off of here. And this is probably my perfect neutral sheer out blend, use as another blush on top of kind of blush. I find a lot of the times I'll go a little bit too heavy with my blushes, so I like to use stuff like this just to tone it down so I don't look too crazy. Just a little bit crazy, but not too crazy. And I love these. Like I just said, I love these, so I'm not too worried about using this up anytime soon, but the embossment's gone, so I know that once I start reaching for this one again, I will eventually reach for it and use it until I hit pan and then probably finish it off. So this is by Natasha Denona. This is the Bloom Highlighting Blush. So I purchased this not realizing how deep this was going to be. I saw this in person when I got it and I was like, oh my god, what did I do? I've only swatched it. There's a little bit of like gold reflect in here, but I don't know if I'd be able to use this. It would definitely be a summertime kind of blush, and I'm really hoping that come summertime when I'm a lot deeper, a lot more, have more summer color to me, that I'll be able to get away with this. And because it's a highlighting blush, it's gonna be super glowy, which isn't always my thing. But I'm hoping that this summer I can manage to pull this out and get some good use on it because I feel like I need to at least give it a go. This blush right here is the Too Faced Love Flush in Baby Love, and I absolutely love this shade in the palette. So it was because of that palette that I actually purchased a full size. I do really enjoy these blushes. I saw that they came out with new ones like in Europe or something, and I was just like, oh my god, I was so excited. I wanted to purchase them. I haven't, but I wanted to. And I found that when I bought this one and tried using it, it was a little bit more rosy than what was in the palette. Could have just been me, but I kind of stopped reaching for it after a little bit because of that. But if you watched my Pan That Face palette this year, I was panning this palette and I completely used up this shade. So I would like to start reaching for this one a little bit more, but because I'm so tired of that palette, it's gonna be a little bit because I need a break from these blushes. So I only have a couple more, and this one is by Milani. So this is like their rose blushes, and the imprint in the center is pretty much gone. It's just around the edges, but I've seen that once you get deep enough, like it's hollow underneath. So I don't know if that's, I'm assuming that would be everybody's. So I'm super curious to find out once I eventually hit that and then see how quickly it goes after that, because I would like to use this up. This is getting a little bit old. This is in 01 Romantic Rose, which is probably the only shade that I would actually want to use out of this. But I really, really do like this blush as well. So I do want to start using this one a little bit more. And my last pressed powder, I do have a couple liquids which I'll be getting into right after this, but I was so excited when I saw this on sale because I've been wanting this blush for a while, and I was like, I didn't want to spend the $40 on it because that's a lot. So when Sephora had some of the Too Faced stuff 50% off, this was one of the items and I jumped on it, and I am so happy I did. I'm actually wearing it today. I use this all of the time and I love it. It still smells like peaches. It's gorgeous. I love it. So you can see the imprint is wearing away, but I dip into this. Like I said, I'm using it today. I use it all of the time. I like to use this. Actually, there's a couple more blushes I gotta show you. Whoops. So I use this blush with this. This is Coralista from Benefit, which came in their very first, like their cheek palettes. And as you can see, I've hit quite a large amount of pan on here. So I like to blend those two together, and that's actually what I'm wearing today. And it's so pretty. I absolutely love it. I am so, so happy that this went on sale because $40 is expensive for a blush. I don't think I would purchase it at full price, but if I could ever find it on sale again, there's a chance I might pick another one of them up. That's really saying something. So I do have one more pressed blush, and then I'll get on to my liquids. This one is Dallas by Benefit. So it came in that same Cheek Parade palette that the Coralista one came in that I just showed you. So I feel like this is very similar in a sense to Stylish Me by MAC, where it would be a blush or a bronzer, except this one is a lot deeper, darker, rosier. I feel like this might be a good like bronzer topper maybe, or like to blend out a bronzer like I do with my blushes. But I'm throwing this in with the blushes because I might actually be able to get away with it using it as a blush. Maybe if I mix it with like a peach shade or something like that, I think it would be pretty as well. So those two are just sitting in here. But yeah, I really do like those Benefit blushes, so I'm regardless happy that I have that one. So last, I'm going to show you these all together because it kind of all came together. So these are the liquid blushes that I have. I ended up getting this little trial size sample. They're all from Rare Beauty. This one I got with one of my last purchases, and then shortly after I purchased the little trio that they had. So these are all very neutral shades, all shades that I would use daily. And the way that I would use these, I haven't done it yet. I think I've used this one a couple of times, but I would do it under my base. So I'll put that blush on, put my foundation and everything else on, and then use a different blush on top. So I feel like using them that way would get a lot of good use on them, as long as I remember to do so. So I would like to, at least in the new year, start reaching for these a little bit more, especially since I haven't used the larger ones, like these ones that came in the little trio pack, just this one, and just use them underneath just a little bit. That's what I've heard, is you just need a couple of dots and you're good to go. So I feel like if I used a little bit more, because it would be under everything, that you wouldn't be able to see too much. It wouldn't look too heavy. So I'm really looking forward to starting to use those as well. So That being said, that is all of my single blushes. I know that's a lot. If I did everything in this video, it would be quite the video, and we're already at 20 minutes long. So I'm gonna end this video here. Stay tuned for my next one, which will probably be my highlighters, and then I'll do my bronzers. So if you're interested in seeing the rest of my collection so far, stay tuned for that. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a makeup inventory for all of these face products when I do my face palette video, so that'll be up sometime this week. And yeah, that's it. So let me know if you guys happen to count how many blushes I have. Let me know in the comments, because I have not done that yet. And yeah, there's nothing right now that I want to declutter exactly, but I do want to cut this down. So I do have quite a bit. I do eventually want to cut this down to like 8 to 10, because I feel like even that's a lot of blushes. But I'm only going, I know that's going to take quite a while, so I'm not expecting to cut this collection down to 8 or 10 of them by next year. I would like to use up probably about 4 of them, considering what I used up this year, which I'll get that into that in my makeup inventory part anyways. But I would like to use up a few of these, eventually cut this down to about 8 or 10 blushes, and I'm hoping that I can do that. I'm hoping that maybe in this new year I can focus on 4 blushes in total and get those out of my collection, because a girl's got a lot of blush. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of them this week if you are interested in the rest of my makeup collection, and I will see you guys all later. Bye!